guess where we are again? Perhaps our favourite site in all of America. And you know, we've been to a few of these already, but the more we get to go to them, you know, I'm really starting to love my time at these garages.
So we made it to Capitol Reef National Park. It's our first national park in Utah, and already it feels like we've stepped into Mars. So there's a couple of viewpoints and things to see. We're not doing any really long hikes because it is too warm and we didn't set off early, obviously. First one is a panoramic viewpoint, so we're gonna walk up to that and have a look. So we're going to do the most popular drive that you can do, which is the scenic drive, which basically is a loop that comes down and then you come back out. But it's like got all the starting points for all the little hikes and stuff. We're not doing anything too crazy, but obviously the drive itself is going to be pretty beautiful. Oh, and if you're coming to America, get one of these. This is an annual pass for $80, and it gives you entrance into all the national parks across USA, and they're about $30 each to get in for a car sometimes, so yeah, it pays itself off quite quickly. Brad's just losing his shit.
It's so warm. I got the aircon is on full and it's blasting at me. I can't leave my arm on here anymore because it's literally melting. It literally feels like it's sticking to the armrest.
It's alright, there's still only 1 hour 58 minutes to the next stop. Parked up for the night. Pretty empty here. There's 140 spots, and online it was like, oh, if you don't get here by 4 you'll not get one. Well, I think the whole world knows something that we don't. They don't come to Utah in this heat. But it's mad because it was 37 degrees today and it's probably dropped to like late 20s now, or maybe it's still like 30, but the point being, it feels so much cooler, even though it never gets this hot in Ireland. So, and there's a breeze, and I'm so grateful. So it's half 8 and we're heading into the Arches National Park. So from May till, I believe it's September, possibly October, you can only get into the park via slotted reservations. If you want to come between 6 and 5 o'clock, if you come before 6, good on you, but you don't have to have a reservation. Or if you come after 5 for like sunset or whatever.
Sort of maniac, right?
I know.
Go to bed for 6. People to look at yourself.
They're sunrise seekers, we're sunset seekers. But yeah, so we got one for between 8 and 9 because that seemed like a good negotiation of time. So I made it into the park. Didn't take too long. Basically, there's like, they give you suggestions for like 2 hours, 4 hours a day, 2 days. We're doing a 4-hour suggestion because that'll make us finish at 1, and it's only going to get hot. I know they have a freshwater fill-up point in the park, so just grabbing some fresh water to drink, and we'll fill up our tank, and then I'm going to make some coffee, and we're going to hit the road. The thing about this park as well is like, because it's so warm, I highly don't suggest coming here in summer, by the way. It's just that there was no way to avoid this timing. I would never come anywhere like this, the desert, in summer. But yeah, there's no way to avoid it. So but I would suggest you come spring, autumn, winter even looks good. Yeah, the good thing is there's actually a lot of the sites you can see from driving, so you can do a loop and see most of the cool arches, and they're just short trails, like 500 meters, that sort of thing, which is far easier in this heat. This is Bradley's Facts.
Your tour guide for today's trip. This vast area was once covered by extensive sand dunes. Some 200 million years ago, winds from the northwest carried tons of fine-grained sand into this area, creating an immense desert. Or desert. I always get those two confused. Over time, the sand drifts were covered by other layers of sediment, comprised and cemented by quartz and calcite into Navajo sandstone. Erosion since washed away the overlying layers, exposing the petrified dunes. Oh, wow.
Oh.
It's been preserved.
Yeah.
Look everyone, it's Trucker Caz.
Garden of Eden viewpoint. So we stayed in our hotel. We stayed in our hotel last night, and it was.
You know why she's vlogging? Caz has had all morning to start vlogging. Now she starts. Do you know why? Because she knows she's meant to be getting and cleaning that windscreen.
It's clean. So we stayed in. We caved and we stayed in a hotel last night. We were just getting so, like, our campsite is in the desert, essentially. Well, it is. It's called the desert. We have two tours booked in Moab, but they're not until tomorrow and Tuesday. So, but we were here a couple of days before because we have the Arches National Park and a couple of other national parks. But we're sightseeing the national parks in the morning as early as possible, obviously to try and get out of the heat and the peak times. But that means that we're done early, and then we have the rest of the day, and we can't sit in the van, even with our aircon. It's just there's no shade in this place. So we've been just sitting in coffee shops, and basically yesterday, we were done in the Arches National Park by like 11:30, 12, and we were just really warm and frustrated, and we knew that the sun doesn't set till 8:30, 9, so we knew that we had until then to actually wait. So it was, yeah, so basically looked on booking.com and there happened to be like a good, because we booked on the day, last minute deal at this hotel that had everything I could possibly want. Aircon, swimming pool, and also they had a bath, and I've been craving a bath for absolute months. It's just been showers. So yeah, I really needed that little break. But yeah, we checked out because it was only one night, and we're back to the desert tonight. But we're sightseeing today, and because we started later, hopefully we'll end later. And then we're out tomorrow on a full day rafting tour, so tomorrow will be busy. And then we're leaving Moab, and we're actually heading to the mountains, and I'm hoping it's going to be cooler. We're heading towards Canyonlands National Park. Realised we haven't fueled up, so we had to turn back. Brad wasn't too happy. But luckily we'd only done like 10-15 minutes, so. We popped into the visitor centre, worked out our bearings. This place looks incredible, but yeah, we're going to start with the Mesa Arch, which is something I've seen a lot of online, especially Instagram. So yeah, it's a little 0.6 mile round trip hike, which should be okay in this heat. Probably sound really lazy, we're not. I would happily do more, but honestly, we're not built for hiking in 37 degrees heat. It's as simple as that.
What's really cool about this park is, it's like, when you look, it had like a topographical style map. So the road we're following, I didn't realise it's actually just like basically a ridge.
Yeah.
And then it's just sheer drops on all sides.
Everywhere.
That's why the views here are so good, because you're just driving along a ridge line basically.
It's mad, it's like everywhere you look.
So we think that over there is called Upheaval Dome, and they now think that is where a meteor crashed into. I don't know if you can see it too well on this lens, but yeah, within the canyon is another canyon. So yeah,
It's so hot. Brad needs a refreshing drink of orange juice that is definitely out of going bad.
a bit fizzy. It's got ice in it.
So we've come into Dead Horse Point State Park, and this is, so in the Thelma and Louise movie at the end when they drive off the Grand Canyon, it's not actually the Grand Canyon, it's here, they filmed it here. So wow, sorry, I just got caught by a view there. The next day, we headed out on the Colorado River with the Moab Adventure Center. Time for lunch.
I haven't barbecued in a while. I'm meeting you, but
Lunch. Pretty awesome view. First barbecue of the season.
guess where we are again? Perhaps our favourite site in all of America. And you know, we've been to a few of these already, but the more we get to go to them, you know, I'm really starting to love my time at these garages. Helen's been naughty again.
She has.
It's like a bit of an issue with starting up sometimes. Basically, it's been we noticed it in Canada. It turns over and just wouldn't ignite them. Anyway, it got like worse and worse. We kind of just, with the whole cooling fan and the expensive tow, we were like, what is sort of like...
Hopefully it'll go away by itself.
Yeah, they just sort of kept getting worse. And anyway, we finally managed to... So we was like, sod it, we'll just... You checked into this garage. Managed to get seen today, which was really lucky. Long story short, I don't know if you know if they fixed the issue, because they replaced the battery. They said like the starting cranks and the battery is quite poor, but it's not really a turning over problem. It's more of like a, I don't know, they can't tell what it is because the engine isn't giving them a fault code to be able to tell them. So either way, they changed the battery, they fixed our balance, because the tires were unbalanced again, which is probably another syndrome from the Alaska highway. Long story short, hopefully we're better now, at least for a while, because we're about to go up in some mountains.
Yeah, we're gonna go try and get some cold air.
Yeah, but Firestone have really helped us out.
Yes, honestly, Firestone are the only people who've helped us out, been willing to help, that we were calling, and that's twice now they have helped us out. So
we've been to two of them, one in Oregon, one here, and everyone was like amazingly friendly.
Yeah,
and the prices are pretty good.
We're very happy customers.
Yeah.
So thank you, Firestone, again.
But that being said, we do want to stop giving them our money.
Yes.
They've taken too much of our money.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I hope so, Helen. No more problems, okay? Or else we could take you to the scrapyard. I don't mean that.
Let's go to the mountains.
Wait, should we see if she starts up okay? This became a really nerve-wracking procedure, you know. See, she does it now, like, but she gets naughty sometimes, you know. She does it when people aren't watching. She's like a kid who, you know.
The van saga continues. Literally the last time Brad picked up the camera, he was like, oh, we're leaving now, hopefully all is okay.
Yeah, we drove about an hour last night and the van was just losing power quite significantly. So we had to cut off our stop to the national park, head back to town. Anyway, we've been here overnight. We just had a long conversation with Ricky, who's our mechanic friend.
Who you'll have heard mentioned a million times.
It seems like there's some sort of issue with the fuel system, like losing some sort of, like the pressure's low, you know, so hey, I don't know much about engines, but from what I can tell, it's like there's some sort of blockage in the injectors or something worse even, I don't know, that's then stopping fuel getting through so the engine can't burn it. Problem is we're not getting any fault codes on the van, so we can't work out, we're not getting any system warnings, so we can't plug it in at a garage and they can give us a fault code and we can see what it is. The plan is to get to Denver, which we're going to be in like 5 days time, and hopefully we can book in with a diesel mechanic in advance. Just another problem is that everyone's fully booked up, and if they do squeeze us in, they don't like diesel engines because everyone uses petrol here and they don't like touching it because it's foreign and they don't want to get involved, so we kind of need to try and book in with a diesel specialist. In the meantime, we're just going to try and get up to Fort Collins,
which is 6 hours away.
6 hours away. We'll have to just skip out a few sites, which is really annoying, but the priority is just to keep going and get to a city where we can then get seen. So we have this stuff which is meant to like help diesel help to clear out blockages in the fuel ejectors and stuff. I think it's more of like a preventative thing rather than like a magic cure, so we're not holding out crazy amounts of hope, but it can't do any harm.
Further,
so we're going to stick some of that in. It's like once we stopped the van yesterday for like 10 minutes and then got in and started driving, the power was back up again. It wasn't perfect, but it was back up. So as it stands, all we can do is like try to basically nurse it up towards Denver, but in advance get it booked in somewhere.
And one of the problems is that either way, getting to Fort Collins is higher elevation, and she doesn't like going uphill. She's losing power when we tried to go up not even a big hill. So I'm looking at the routes and trying to find the one that basically gains the least elevation, but I mean, we're at 6,000 feet, and I had a quick look at Google, and we're at least rising to 12,000. So there's no way to avoid the mountain hills because Colorado is built on up and downs. So this should be interesting.